Okay.
All right. So today I will share with you a new approach and technology that dramatically changed the way IT handles performance and availability issues. But let's start first with a short background on Evolven as a company. Evolven provides its blended analytics solution to large and medium to large enterprises in a number of technology-intense verticals such as finance, insurance, healthcare, pharma, and so on. Our customers include Fortune 100 organizations such as JPMC, Barclays, Deloitte, Western Union, and many others like this. The customers deploy Evolven to manage tens of thousands of servers and devices on-premise and in the cloud, in production environments running critical business systems. Experience of these customers results in proven ROI, numerous success stories, and solid references. Evolven is also endorsed by leading analysts and recognized by industry. In 2013, Gartner chose Evolven as a cool vendor in IT operation management space. We won Red Herring Top 100 Startups Award. This year we won Top 50 Startups by TIE, and we were recognized by CIO Review as Top 20 Most Promising HP Partners. We work in partnership with a number of IT vendors such as ServiceNow, Splunk, CA, HP, and other leading IT vendors. The bottom line is that Evolven provides a solution proven by real customers, endorsed by leading analysts, and recognized by industry. So I would like to start with a short exercise. Can you see a difference between these two pictures? Well, I will save you trouble. There is none. After many years and billions spent on various tools, IT still suffers from numerous performance and availability issues, still invests valuable resources in complex and lengthy troubleshooting. IT still relies on a war room practice to respond to severe issues. So why do these challenges persist with all the investment and attention? The answer boils down to a critical roadblock that IT still didn't succeed to remove: the lack of situational awareness. As a famous quote of Donald Rumsfeld says, the most difficult things are those that we don't know that we don't know, the so-called unknown unknowns. These unknowns are the ones blowing up as a severe incident. These unknowns trigger lengthy and exhausting investigations. These unknowns represent a major risk still hiding in IT business systems and environments. And how does IT deal with these unknowns? Today's best practice is to get as many of your smartest, most knowledgeable and experienced specialists as you can together in one room. Call it War Room, Tiger Team, Emergency Team, it's all different names but the same story. These experts start to work each in their own silo. They go through operations data using each their own data subset and tools. It's like I watch application performance metrics, you investigate the infrastructure logs, she will investigate network KPIs. That's how incident is investigated in silos. The experts start from analyzing symptoms of the issue. Then they reverse engineer the symptoms, but they miss the true root cause, the changes. To find their way to the actual root cause, they attempt to manually crunch the available data, and they repeatedly try educated guesses. The result of this war room practice is a continuous struggle. There are still too many high priority incidents. Troubleshooting takes too much time, slowing down mean time to resolution. Amount of resources spent on incident investigation is just too wasteful. And in the end, IT is trapped in a catch-22-like situation. They are too busy fighting fires to start preventing them. It's really time to break this vicious circle and separate from the good old war room practice. So today, I'm introducing a game-changing Evolven Blended Analytics, providing a solution for chronic IT challenges. Evolven Blended Analytics correlates and analyzes cross-silo data sources, giving you the insights to prevent and rapidly investigate incidents. The concept of our blending analytics relies on three pillars. First, data from all relevant sources. This includes symptoms of environment issues, changes in environment state, and relevant IT context. The second is to focus on the change as a true root cause for performance and availability issues. And the third one is powerful analytics that rely on machine learning, anomaly detection, and domain-specific heuristics. This approach delivers clear insights, identifying what changed, did it cause an issue, or can it cause a future issue. Sounds like magic? Let's explore this in greater detail. So the first pillar of Blend Analytics is to get all the relevant data sources. Evolven organizes data in a contextual model. Not all data is created equal. Each of the types of data has its role in this model. In this slide, you see a screenshot of our UI visualizing the entire model. One of the most known and used types of data is symptoms information, indicating undesirable conditions in the business system health. Well, examples of such data you can see in this slide are application performance management metrics, such as the performance alerts, log-based events, network KPIs, and so on. Eventually, any data point allowing a NOC operator to recognize that an incident takes place could be considered a symptom. Today, most vendors, and as a result, IT teams using their tools, focus on detection and research of symptoms. Also, symptoms are obviously important. They are only part of complete analysis. Knowing activities carried or planned by IT gives context to the analysis, and this includes infra and application changes coming from deployment automation, change requests and service requests from service desk, dependencies and topology from CMDB. All of this creates context for the analysis. But critically, but frequently overlooked data is an actual change, representing the true root cause of performance availability issues. Only getting these three types of data together, the symptoms, the changes, and IT context, you can get a comprehensive and clear picture. So we borrowed this slide showing a desperate IT employee from Glenn O'Donnell, one of the most senior and respected Forrester analysts. He quizzed the audience about the first question asked when there is an issue. And the answer is not surprising. What changed? In IT, we know, don't change anything if you don't want to break it. So here comes the second pillar of our approach. Focus on the change. As I mentioned before, change is a critical yet frequently overlooked piece of analysis. One of the challenges in using change information is lack of such. Today, Evolven is the only vendor that collects and analyzes actual changes across end-to-end IT environments at most granular level. And when I say end-to-end environment, I mean changes in application code, in environment configuration, application data, capacity of the business system, workload it handles. Actually, 95% of all performance availability issues can be attributed to one or several of these changes. Changes indeed are the true root cause of incidents. However, today, IT is reactive and starts to respond to an incident only when alerted on a problem symptom. Then missing change information turns root cause analysis into a very lengthy and, as you know, complex process. The resolution happening in the war room takes a long time, and it exposes an organization to high risk. With Evolven, you move to preventive mode of work. Evolven tracks and analyzes changes as they happen. This gives you an ability to recognize early a high-risk change and remediate it even before it causes an incident. You do not need to wait for symptoms to show up to address a problem. But let's say you need to respond to an incident that occurred. The whole investigation process can be still radically shortened. Evolven already collected change information that holds the true root cause of the investigated incident. So then our blended analytics correlates the changes with symptoms in IT context, analyzes them to estimate risk level, and gives you the root cause in seconds. Your IT team shares the same view across all the silos, streamlining issue resolution. The result is drastically faster mean time to resolution and much lower risk. Let's take a look at the third pillar of Blend Analytics. IT generates, as you know, huge amount of operational data. That's why manual analysis of changes, symptoms, and IT context information struggles with unknowns hiding in the volumes of the data. Evolven Blended Analytics both automates manual data crunching and also extends the reach of analysis to the data that could be ignored or overlooked otherwise. There are several steps in the analysis process. To prepare a high volume of diverse cross-silo data for analysis, Evolven, first of all, needs to consolidate, clean, and correlate all this data. We reduce the noise by eliminating insignificant, low-priority data. We cluster similar changes and similar events and KPIs together for more accurate and efficient analysis. We need to normalize the data from each data source to allow correlation between the data. And finally, we do correlate the data within and between multiple data sources. Then the analysis engine estimates risk of changes in terms of their potential or actual impact on business system stability. We calculate risk scores for each change dimension and each blended data sources. We consider if are the changes consistent, where they deployed across the entire environment, are they authorized, are they frequently appearing in the environment, are these big changes or small changes, are they done automatically or manually. All these dimensions contribute to the risk score calculation. We use machine learning to detect anomalies, like for example, if a change typically done in overnight suddenly is executed during the day, which is definitely a symptom of unusual activity. We leverage knowledge base, which we have out of the box, and also customized knowledge base that accepts the input of your subject matter experts to fine-tune the results of automated analysis. All this to actually take all the data and produce a root cause, give you a root cause of the analysis. So to be practical in this session, we didn't go into the full technical review of blended analytics model and architecture, and there is much more to it. And we can actually get the details in the demo, but let me summarize quickly the key highlights of our model. First of all, it incorporates all the relevant data sources collected from external tools and internally by Evolven. Our analysis is change-centric. We believe that changes are the true root cause of the issues we help to prevent or investigate faster. And in the end, Evolven Analytics Engine picks the changes that can threaten stability of your business system, actually cause an incident. It's done through a mix of machine learning, heuristic algorithms, and a knowledge base incorporating industry and your experience. So how this technology is actually used by our customers. And there is a number of scenarios, different organizations use it different way, but we recognize consistently 4 key use cases. First of all, the one that is the most reactive one is actually to accelerate troubleshooting. When there is an incident, how to use Evolven shortens the investigation. First of all, Evolven helps you to know what changed and then to correlate automatically symptoms, IP context changes. Then we analyze risk to zoom in on true root cause on those changes that triggered an incident you are investigating. However, again, our customers realize that the data they use for troubleshooting is actually available before the incident takes place. And so they use Evolven to prevent incidents rather than just react to them. First of all, we help them to identify high-risk changes early on. Evolven alerts the customers when such high-risk changes are detected. We detect anomalies or recognize certain patterns that we can alert of, again to bring their attention to some unusual activities that can cause a problem. We also help them to validate environment consistency, ensure that production looks like disaster recovery, the new servers are created according to the golden baseline, that applications are configured similarly across the cluster. This helps to avoid a lot of issues if you have a stable and consistent environment. Then, as the organizations evolve towards the DevOps practices, the DevOps analytics is a very important use case. We help to validate the infrastructure readiness before automated deployment. We actually give a complete bill of materials, allowing them to know what was actually released versus the planned release. And in the end, we also help to detect early post-release stability issues so that we close the feedback loop between the operations and the applications development side of the house. And the last but not least one is the automated audit. Many of our customers are required by different regulations and also internal policies to audit actually the changes happening in their environment. And here, we provide automatically, out of the box, end-to-end audit trail of the changes. So that simplifying the whole auditing effort, we automatically detect unauthorized changes, also helping, to provide required information to auditors, but also to pass the audit. And again, we can alert proactively on high-risk changes, allowing to handle them before they pose any issue, which is also essentially as essential as a type of control for auditors. So, as I mentioned, customers use Evolven for quite some time, generating significant ROI in short periods of time. Here I pick two examples which are driven by different use cases. Barclays started to focus on DevOps analytics to ensure that their release and update process runs reliably and on time. They returned investment to Evolven in less than 6 months just using Evolven for one project first. Evolven was ensuring infrastructure readiness and accuracy of releases into production environments, and also when they were transitioned from development into pre-production. Eliminating issues in release process, the Barclays team was able to go live with a major new application on time with no major post-release issues. The team using Evolven estimated that they made significant savings, reducing efforts on application team, DevOps team, production support team, and many other stakeholders. Releasing the application time made substantial positive business impact. The benefits were estimated comparing process using Evolven versus outcome of the traditional processes. So in less than 6 months, ROI less than 6 months. BSC is a different case. They are a large U.S. government contractor. They started using Evolven to prevent issues in their new fully virtual data centers that they have built. Already in the beginning, in the first week, Evolven highlighted a high risk inconsistency in configuration of a clustered business application. Just preventing an incident that could be caused by this inconsistency pays for BSC investment in Evolven. And over time, the company was able to reduce the amount of production incidents by 40%, using Evolven Analytics proactively to detect early high-risk changes and also environment inconsistencies. So, to summarize, what is the difference of Evolven blended analytics approach? The first of all is ability to get all the relevant cross-silo data, correlating, analyzing all relevant data sources across systems, across different teams. It's a contextual model that links symptoms, changes, and IT activities triggering the changes. Our approach is change-centric. It focuses on the true root cause of issues. It covers all changes of configuration type, data changes, code changes, capacity, and workload. It covers the entire environment, applications, their underlying software infrastructure stack. It drills down to the most granular change level. When we speak about, for example, about configuration change, down to the level of individual parameters. We bring powerful analytics that introduce machine learning and pattern anomaly detection to identify high-risk changes. We introduce domain knowledge-driven heuristics. We have automated noise reduction to present only a relevant subset of data to the users. And what is important is the speed of the implementation. So the results could be done in small environments in minutes, and larger in hours, worst case in weeks. But that's the speed of implementation across the enterprise. At this point, we would transition to demo to share, the technical details with the customers. We will do the demo in a different session. This session is only about the sales presentation. And maybe to mention only a few backup slides that we didn't finish yet. This is something that will be provided in the next few days. Frequently the question is, how do we implement Evolven? How does it integrate into our organization? Sounds like, a major tool that could be also transformed into nature. And what we believe is the right, what we see with the customers is the right approach, the phased approach. We start with, a specific use case with a specific stakeholders, expanding this to the teams, expanding this to the business units and then the enterprise, and evolving the maturity of organization. Starting from organizations that need to be change aware, doesn't have any tools and processes, relying on Evolven to make them change aware. With more mature organizations where we can actually integrate with the APM and log tools to start to blend information about the changes with the system, and extending this to the integration with the contextual information so that we can do blending end-to-end, taking IT context information, symptom information and change information and getting down to the root cause basic end-to-end blending. So with that, let's open the floor for the feedback.
I think it's awesome. You know, it's like there's some really good slides in there that start focusing on